Welcome back, my WeldTube family. It's Abraham, supervisor here at South Coast Welding Academy in Houston, Texas. And in tonight's video, I'm going to be welding uphill and downhill. We still get a lot of haters talking about you can't weld downhill, but guess what? This video is for y'all, so stay tuned. At the end of the video, I will be cutting up this pipe up and bending the strips. We're going to check out which side breaks and which one doesn't, or if any of them breaks. And if they don't, Alright guys, so just like I mentioned on the intro, I'm going to be welding uphill and downhill. Alright guys, the purpose of this video is to touch on the subject whether you want to go downhill or whether you want to go uphill. Whether you're allowed to weld downhill or whether you're allowed to weld uphill. Still a controversial subject for a lot of people out there, but really it depends on what code you're going to be following. For example, if I'm going to be doing ASME Section 9, welding to that code, everything's going to be uphill. Now if I'm going to be welding per API 1104 pipeline facilities, that's all downhill. It just depends what code you're going to be following. Also, if you're at the house and you're not, following the code, you're just, welding on fences, doing at-home projects, what direction do you weld at? Well, you got to look at what rod you're using, because some rods are specially designed to go uphill and some are specially designed to go downhill. It just depends what rods you're using at the time. For example, if you're using 6010, 6010, you can weld that uphill or downhill. If you're using 7018, that's only designed to go uphill. If you're using 8010, that's all downhill. So in this video, I'm going to be welding a 6-inch pipe, schedule 80. I'm going to do two sides, okay? Both sides for the root, I'm going to be doing 6010. One's going to go uphill, the other side I'm going to go downhill. And then after that, on the uphill side, I'm going to use 7018 all the way out to the cap, and on the other side I'm going to use 8010 all the way out to the cap. All right guys, so for this video I will be using this Big Blue 400 Pipe Pro. We've had it in the shop for a while now, and I just wanted to use it today. So check this out, and I'm also going to be using this remote right here. All I got to do is turn this knob to the run idle position. The machine turns on, and I already have the remote linked up to it. And check this out, look how easy it is to turn it on. All right, all I'm going to do right now is push the yellow button right here. It turns on. It tells me how many hours the machine has, how many hours my oil has. And to turn it on, I just push this, hold it, 3, 2, 1, and boom, it's on. All right, so now I'm gonna get ready to tack my pipe up. I'm not even gonna mess with the machine over here. I'm gonna do all my settings on the remote. Okay, it's on 6010, but if I want to switch over to 7018, all I have to do is push this button right here, go right there, go down, and now I can toggle between 7018, 6010, flux core, MIG, and what have you. But I'm gonna go to 6010 right there, push enter, bam. And then I'm gonna go over to my amps. My amps are highlighted, and I'm just gonna go to I'm gonna start at 86 amps for my root, 6010. All right, my stiffness too, I can control it by the remote right here. I go to my stiffness, click it, and I can go down or up. See that where it says stiff right there? I can go up or down. For my root with 6010, I like my stiffness all the way up to 25. All right guys, so I got my two pieces of pipe right here. I'm about to tack them up. And like I said, stated in the video, I'm gonna be welding one side uphill, the other side downhill. So I gotta fit it up, the way I'm gonna weld it. One side I'm gonna fit it up with a 1/16 gap, tack that side up, and make the other side open up to about a 3/32. All right, because when I weld downhill, I like my gap to be a 1/16. Not anything bigger than that. You can have it bigger if you want, but that's just my preference. And when I go uphill, the size that I like for my gap to be is a 3/32 gap. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do right now. Again, this has a 3/32 to a 1/8 landing. All right guys, so I gave my pipe 3 tacks. I did one at 12, one at 6, and one at 9 o'clock. Okay, this is the side I'm gonna be welding downhill because it has the tightest gap. It has about a 1/16 gap all the way around, and on this side is more open, as you can see. All right, that's the side I want to go uphill. All right, let's get this thing in place. All right, guys, so I got my pipe tack in place right now. I'm gonna go ahead and feather my tacks up, okay? Bam, my tacks are feathered. Remember, I got a tack at 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 9 o'clock, okay? I left one side with a 332 gap. As you can see, it's pretty open. And then the other side is a 116 gap, very, very tight gap on this side. This is the side I'm gonna be welding downhill, and this side I'm gonna be welding uphill. All right, guys, so I'm all ready to start welding. I got my gloves on, and I got my hood on, and I went ahead and put this on because, you know, 6010 throws a lot of sparks, and I don't want to burn my hands. But anyways, I'm gonna talk about my technique. I'm gonna start on the uphill side first. My technique, I'm pretty much gonna hold my rod at this angle right here, like this, and I'm gonna do my back and forth technique. I have quite a few videos already explaining that technique, and I also explained that technique in one of my Instagram posts. If you want to check that out, you can go on my Instagram at AB Welds. But anyways, this is the angle that I'm gonna keep down here. I personally don't put my rod all the way straight at 90 degrees when I'm down here. Right here, I pretty much aim it this way. That way the metal shoots this way like that. As I go this way, the metal shoots that way, and it accumulates on top. The ripples accumulate on top of each other like that. That way I get good penetration, okay? I'm gonna keep this angle all the way through, and then once I get about right here, I'm gonna go ahead and start moving my rod at 90 degrees like this. Okay, and I always keep my, once I get to the side, I always keep it at 90 degrees. Right here, like this, like this, like this, like this. All right, guys, so I'm using my back and forth technique. All I do with my technique is I go back and forth, but when I go forward, when I leave the puddle and go forward, I push into this little corner. I push right there. That, what that does, it chokes the rod. It stops heat from coming out of the rod, and it cools this puddle off back here. And then I go back again, and I just tap the puddle and add metal, and I just repeat. So I push, back, 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 all the way out, okay? How much do you push in? Well, that it has like a little sweet spot, all right? You don't push in too hard, but you need to push in enough, all right? And that's with practice and with experience, that's pretty much what you get good at, you know, just filling it out, all right? So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this side up. Remember, you always want to feather your tacks so you can have a good tie-in. I'm running at around 86 amps. My keyhole is getting a little big, but I'm just gonna leave it there because I know how to control it. All right, guys, so I just finished my left side over here on my pipe going uphill, and for the other side, I'm gonna go downhill. For my downhill, I'm gonna use my my good friend here, Sam.
What's up, WeldTube?
Hey, he's gonna be helping me out with the remote, because when you go downhill, it is important that you have a helper in hand that can control your temperature. If you need to go weld colder or weld hotter, you just tell them to go up 2, up 3, depending on what you and your helper come to an understanding. And so yeah, best hand in the West. Up.
92.
Up.
94.
Down.
92.
All right, guys, so I just finished my root pass. Just like anything else, I'm gonna go ahead and clean it with the grinder. All right, guys, so I'm getting ready to start my hot pass uphill with 6010 1/8 rod. And I'm gonna be running at 96 amps. One more thing, I'm gonna be using the back and forth technique, up, down, side to side, up, down, side to side. And then if I feel like it, I'm gonna switch over to going circles going uphill, okay? Again, I have another in-depth description on how to do my uphill technique with 6010 on the hot pass. You can go check that out on my Instagram. All right, guys, finished my hot pass going uphill. Now I'm gonna start my hot pass going downhill. And I'm gonna use the back and forth technique as I go down, just like that, okay? Remember, guys, when you move your rod forward, it's to dig, and when you go move your rod backwards, it's to fill in. So I'm gonna be digging, filling in, digging, filling in, digging in, filling in. All right, guys, so I just finished both my hot passes. I'm gonna start my my fillers now. I'm gonna go head over and switch to my 532 8010 rod, and I'm gonna go downhill. I'm probably gonna set it at 125 amps, and I'm gonna keep it there.
So the technique that I'm using here, I'm doing wide circles. So you want to do a circle. When you finish a circle, you don't want to end up under the edge of the puddle as you go down. Always end up under the puddle with the tip of the rod. You don't want your puddle running down and beating your art, aka your rod. You always want to be under the puddle when you're welding downhill. Once I start going like straight vertical down, I switch to a zigzag motion as I go down.
All right, guys, so I just finished one of my fillers with 8010 going downhill. Now I'm gonna do my filler on the left side going uphill with 7018, so I gotta switch my settings. Look how easy this is. I go over here, click it right there, go down, bam, click it, and then I'm at 7018 now. Set it at 90 amps. The technique I'm gonna be using for my 7018 uphill is gonna be my zigzag technique. I'm gonna zigzag to each corner, each wall, hold it for 2 seconds on each wall, and just zigzag uphill, okay?
So when I'm pausing on each on the I guess toes of the last bead, you don't necessarily have to wait for 2 seconds. You can wait for 3 seconds, 4 seconds. It depends on how much metal you're trying to put down all at once. If I have a very low spot, in that spot I'll decide to pause longer than the other spots. Since the top fills up slower than the bottom, sometimes on top I pause longer on the sides of the toes of the weld so that I accumulate more metal.
Yes, sir, that's money. Alright, so I finished up my first filler beads after my hot pass, both with my 6010, both with 8010 and 7018. Alright, I did a weave bead, but now on my 7018 side, I'm gonna go ahead and put multiple beads now. With this, with these two next beads, I should be at flush now. I'm gonna put one on the left and then one on the right. There you have it. My 7018 side is completely flush. Now I'm gonna go ahead and flush the downhill side of this pipe. All right, guys, so I just finished my flush with my 7018. Now I'm gonna flush out my other side with my 8010 rod right here. Again, I'm running at about 125 amps with this rod, and I have its stiffness is all the way plus 25, guys. All right, guys, finished my flush. On this side, I did a a 2-bead filler flush over here, and right here I decided to weave it all the way down with my 8010. I was carrying a shitload of metal. Hopefully that doesn't affect the bend, but we'll see. Kind of want to check that out. But yeah, I'm gonna start my cap. I'm gonna do a 2-bead cap with a 80-10 going downhill and a 2-bead cap with 70-18 going uphill.
Guys, and remember, when you're going uphill, remember to pick up that elbow. I mean, you want to have that right angle up here. Some people forget to hold the rod 90 as you're going up. End up messing up the whole angle and everything. Don't be that person.
Again, guys, I'm just zigzagging. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Very, very easy at a constant pace. So yeah. Alright guys, so I just finished welding this pipe. You know, I welded, obviously I welded one side going uphill and the other side going downhill. And again, the reason I did that was because we still get a lot of comments out there talking about how, you know, they're surprised that I'm welding downhill, or that they're surprised that I'm welding uphill. You know, in some parts of the world, they only weld downhill. In some parts of the world, they only weld uphill. But in today's video, you know, I'm proving that you could do both ways. It all depends on what code you're gonna follow. And also it depends what your rod is designed to, you know, weld. So again, let me mark this so we can cut the pieces out of it and we can bend them and, you know, just get rid of some haters. All right, guys, so here we go. On my hand right here, I got the 60-10 downhill side of the strip, side of the pipe right here. This is gonna be a root band, so I'm gonna put it in this way. Now this is the downhill with 60-10 right here in the bottom. This is a root bend right here. Right. Nothing, look at that. That's good. Bam, and the haters take a hit. Take an L. All right, this is gonna be my top bend right here for my downhill, okay? Top. My cap, downhill 60-10. Yeah, 70-18 the bottom, right here, 70-18. And that's another hit for the haters. Right here. Nothing, clean.
Is that the uphill?
Yeah, this is gonna be 70-18 uphill. All right, now this is gonna be my 70-18 uphill. This is gonna be the cap band, this side. This is the root, this is the cap, now it's gonna go this way. Boom. Did not break. Everything's good. Alright guys, so there you have it, guys. In this hand right here, I got my 60-10 coupons, and in this hand right here, I got my 70-18 bend strips, not coupons. But yeah, as you can see, all of them did pass. So if any one of y'all was undecisive of which way was better, welding uphill or downhill, in reality, the answer to that is they're both just the same. You know, they're both the same. It just depends on what code you're going to be welding to. For example, again, if you're going to be welding to code API 1104 pipeline facilities, that is downhill. And if you're going to be welding ASME section 9, that's all uphill. You know, it all depends on which code you want to follow. Also, it depends on what your rod specifically is designed to do. Some rods are designed to weld uphill, some rods are designed to weld downhill. You know, you got to make your research on that. But yeah, also guys, we did open up our new WeldTube store, so don't forget about that. If you're gonna buy some merch and you want to use my discount code, get 10% off, you can use my Instagram handle, ABWelds. But yeah, I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Until next time.